I just can't with these interruptions. Okay, what's up, guys? I've been watching too much Critical. Okay, so we are talking about fucking bullshit. All right, let's talk about twin flames. Now, this, by all means of scientific logic, is a complete full delu of just two people having the same madness. So, what is a twin flame? Whoops. Let's find a new page for one. Twin flames. It's when. So, the best way I could describe it is you have this delusional sense that you are losing your goddamn mind. You met someone that just feels like they are everything, and just they are completion to you. And what sets this apart from a normal delusional stalker-esque kind of vibe is that the other person might feel it back. There is a caveat though. Now, you can be two delusional people both utterly obsessed with one another. That happens all the time. This is a little bit more spiritual, so to say. Let me give you an example. You will meet this person, and it will usually start out by, I mean, it's not even the person that sparks it per se. It's going to be another person that sparks it, but you will be aware of your twin flame when a bunch of patterns start appearing in your life. You'll start seeing angel numbers pop up. If you don't know what angel numbers are, you'll know. You will start seeing a lot of like what seems like or coincidences. There's no such thing as coincidence. It's all manifesting for you because you've met your twin flame. Now, a lot of people on the internet, and if you're looking at this video, let me tell you, you know what a twin flame is. You get the gist of it. But to be fair, this is a form of psychosis. Like, and when I say psychosis, I'm not saying you're out of your mind, but you kind of are. And it's not just you. Some other poor souls rack themselves into this whole nonsense as well. And I speak very, very at one with this, as I've just gone through a whole fucking nonsense bullshit, and I am devastated to the point that I do not know who I am anymore, nor do I think I will ever fully, if I could ever even somewhat recover from this nightmare. Okay, so enough about me. Right. So the thing that sets this apart from just a regular full delu or a madness of two is the fact that there will be a spiritual awakening coming from this whole nightmare. What I mean by spiritual awakening, you will start seeing the signs. You'll start seeing angel numbers. You'll start having synchronicities. You'll start getting insight to the very depths of what existence means and what it is to be a spiritual being living a human experience. And if you don't know what I meant by what I just said, you will. And if you're coming to this channel, if you're coming to this video to, like, you know, make fun of someone or like point someone out, like, hey, look at schizophrenic, he's talking about this, you're acting just as crazy. No. Back in the day, schizophrenics were mystics. They were the people that were gone to for spiritual insight. And it's only been in the last 250 years or so in the industrialized world that schizophrenics have become a disordered, beleaguered part of society, and not, like, you know, a very important part of human connection to divinity. Now, we live in the age of science, you say. My dude, like, we have measurements and gadgets and all of this super advanced technology. Yeah, I understand that. Yes, I've seen a lot of the channels that try to disprove this stuff, and yes, they are very on course with disproving the metaphysical and the spiritual because it's not scientifically sound and backed. Let me reiterate that I am a diagnosed schizo here, and I'm also a spiritual being living a human experience. So, you know, whatever helps you cope, my man. If science and numbers and maths and whatnot help you sleep at night, so be it. This is what helps me get through the day. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting off tangent. So, an important thing about twin flames is that they are different from soulmates. Soulmates, you will meet a couple of them, maybe multiple of them throughout your lifetime. They will be matched up to different parts of your soul. That it's like, a dear friend like summarized it like this. She had said that a soulmate is like a matching sock. You are one sock and it is the other sock, and you guys are matching socks that pair up and pair nicely together. Twin flames are like a very, very sexy lingerie set, like bra and panties. Now, dudes, my dudes, if you are getting a little weirded out by, thinking of lingerie, might I question why you're getting weirded out by, if you are hetero, why you're getting weirded out by the wrappings that the presents come in. And if you are none of those, might I ask, what is so wrong about clothing? Anyway, so what I mean by that is you can wear the panties or you could wear the cute bra, and either way they will work apart, or they will work fine apart. But if you wear them together, they just make the outfit click. Let me think. Now, a lot of people like to romanticize twin flames. In my experience, and I had a pretty fucking brutal experience, let me tell you. I could go on, but I don't want to start crying here on video. When you meet someone that is your twin flame, you will know deep down, and you will know because they will know, and they will know that you know, and you guys will have a hard time breaking apart from one another. It seems like whenever you guys get away from each other, no matter how toxic, no matter how disruptive, no matter how just much you guys fight and bicker, it's like a trauma bond on steroids. You guys just cannot get each other out of your fucking heads. And to be fair, it's like literally the worst addiction you can have is being connected to a twin flame. And this is why, because that twin flame is part of you on a soul level. You guys are two people holding the same soul that is split apart and has been longing to reconnect with itself. Usually, these people who are feeling the twin flame fever are people with, like, they have some, abandonment issues. They might have some issues when it comes to, like, never feeling like they were enough, never feeling like they were connected to their family or connected to the world around them. And then they meet that person, just makes everything feel, they feel home with this person because they finally feel like they are known, and that lasts for a relatively short time, I'm afraid. Before long, there's going to be some things that come up that there's going to cause some separations. Maybe you guys both freak out over just how crazy you're both acting, which by all means, there's yourself, and then there's the self that's inside of yourself that is watching everything play out. And it's like, hey, this is obsessive, this is crazy, no sane person should be doing this. And you both will probably be thinking it, despite hormones or like, just the thrill of getting to know someone on that level that you don't even know yourself. And if I'm rambling, this is like the third time I've tried this, so just bear with me, okay? You will try so hard to break away from it and, like, be a rational human being about it, and it's just going to make it so much worse, and then it's going to make it so much sweeter when you get to reconnect with this person. Now, there might be, some desynchronization when it comes to how both of you are feeling about this going on, and that is fine. Sometimes the feelings are mutual at first, but then they aren't, but then they are, but then they aren't. Sometimes there might be a breakup. Sometimes there might be a forced separation in some cases that, could lead to legal or spiritual or safety consequences. Like, I've heard stories of people having to break away from their twin because they were literally on the verge of killing each other. in my experience, my twin flame passed away tragically, and it was a tragic accident. Never mix this shit with drugs, just FYI. Um, she she's at peace now, and that's what brings me some comfort. She was really my best friend for a long time, and I do miss her every day, but that's not why we're here. You will break apart, and you will come back together, and break apart and come back together, and here's why. When you try to break apart, you will start to experience the withdrawals. Like I said, this is a drug. This is a hard drug, and not just like a physical drug like you can, get on the street. No, this is a spiritual high that is unmatched by any other chemical you can put in your body. This is beyond your body. This is beyond yourself on this lifetime. This is you reconnecting with a self that is many lifetimes. If you are one to believe in reincarnation, I was assuming that's such when I started this video, but hey, if you don't, this might be a little weird. Just bear with me. So, where was I? Right. It's going to feel like the ultimate highs, but it's also going to bring some of the lowest lows you will ever feel. You are probably going to be brought to the brink of the human limit of what it means to unconditionally love someone. And I mean that by all measures when I say unconditional love. If you think you know unconditional love and you haven't had a twin flame reunion, you have not had another human being basically destroy everything that you stood for, everything that you believed should be, a part of a good person. They will just take that away, and you will do the same for them. You will put each other through hell. And it's not always like this, mind you. This is just my experience that I've had, and mine was pretty brutal. Sometimes, your reincarnation karma slate is pretty clear and you guys can work it out, but you twin flames work on subconscious fears, subconscious limits, subconscious soft points, sore points, whatever you want to call it. They will subconsciously click onto what you are afraid of doing, or what you're afraid of saying, or what you're afraid of actually happening, and they will make it play out and not know why. And you will bring up a lot of trauma that you didn't even realize you had in this lifetime, trauma you didn't realize that they had in this lifetime, trauma they didn't realize they had in this lifetime. You will probably tear each other apart in a lot of ways, even physically in some cases. But you will do it because you are trying to push yourself. And when I mean yourself, you are each trying to push the soul that is inside you to its highest level of understanding and highest level of love, of knowledge, of self-awareness. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like a frantic lunatic, and I know I set out to try to make some sense of this, and it kind of fell apart rather quickly. I sound no different from the other people you're probably watching on YouTube that are all spiritual lovey-dovey, like this is blah blah blah. Like I'm probably no better than them, but it's an indescribable thing. You will know it when you experience it, and it will be an overwhelming feeling. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows like they make it say. There's going to be some brutal times, which I feel like they don't acknowledge. They don't want to bring up because they don't want to scare people away. They want you to buy their, coaching course on how to do whatever. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to spit what the reality is, because I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to try to put it in your head that this is something that you want, because if you want it, it's not going to come to you. And that's just what is the nature of this game. The more you crave and desire something from the self, the more it's going to run away from you. The more you desire the person to accent you, the more that you're not going to have that person. The more that person is going to be kept away from you, and everyone and everything is going to keep that person away from you. And it's terrible, but it's going to be okay. I promise you. It can't. The worst that can happen is, one or both of you die, but you're just going to reincarnate in the next life. And if you don't believe in reincarnation, well, then you both lived a fun life, and they'll probably write a story about you, maybe. But that's, silver linings. Always look for silver linings in even the worst cases of tragedy, because Otherwise, it will just crush you. Okay, so, yeah, now that I got that whole doom and gloom hopefully out of the way now, you and your twin flame are here for a very specific reason. Now, in the grand scheme of things, and I might be getting ahead of myself here, we are all fractions of a divine being experiencing all of what is reality. We are existence experiencing itself, and consciousness wanting to understand what being in existence is. But if you focus back into the micro, where you're at now, you have a divine lesson that you were sent here to learn, maybe, and it's like a two-part lesson that one of you has to learn and the other one has to teach, or vice versa. Maybe, and this is for a lame example, maybe the divine lesson is you guys are here to make the best French toast. One of you has to make the best French toast, and the other one has to understand what it is to enjoy the best French toast. It's not going to be French toast, but it'd be awesome if it was. Yeah, so you guys are sent here on a mission to experience some kind of, like, opposition to what is the norm, what is the traditional, what is the understood, and to just break it wide open. One of you is a teacher, one of you is a student. The one of you is going to be the person who learns, and one of you is going to be the person that experiences. You're both going to experience plenty, but it's always like you're trying to overcome this duality mindset, like this seeker or this runner and this chaser, or this teacher or this student, this man or woman or lover and fighter, whatever duality. Just get it out of the way, because you guys are one. You guys are the duality as a singularity. You guys are not just the lover, but the fighter, and also the fighter for the lover and the lover of the fighter. And if I'm apologizing if that's kind of like going off the deep end, or if you're not getting it. If you do get it, congrats. Your mind is probably as ADHD as mine. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so there will be trials. There will be, and when I say trials, like, depending on when you meet, like, there might be an age gap. And no, age is not just a number here. Like, you can't go romancing a twin flame if they're like 20 years your senior and you're like only 31. That is weird. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. And not every twin flame relationship is romantic. Sometimes it is a parent teaching a child. Sometimes it is a sibling teaching another sibling. Sometimes it's basically in a role that's not just romantic love, not just affection, not just like, lust. It's unconditional love. You love this person despite whatever other feelings you might have for them prior to the awakening of your twin flame. And you'll know when you have been woken up, because you will start getting the withdrawals. You'll start getting the shakes, man. You'll start obsessing over it. And when I say it, you'll be obsessing over them. You'll be looking for them every time that they cross your mind, every hardship, every possible thing that, you will start worrying about them like they're your child. You will start, like, thinking about them like they are the greatest person alive. You will start scorning them like they are the bane of your existence. You will feel every emotion to the extreme that a human can feel towards another human. It's like the whole idea of like, it's like the Joker and Batman. Okay, terrible example, but bear with me. The Joker cannot exist in Gotham City without the Batman to harass, and the Batman has to have the Joker in order to, well, no, he doesn't have to have the Joker, but the Joker is like the epitome of what Batman is fighting in Gotham. I hope that makes sense. I'm not really a big superhero fan, so, but yeah. If you are able to follow me at this far, thank you. It's going on 20 minutes, so to wrap it, kind of roll it into a concise ball here. You have your twin flame. You have your awakening. your, let's just say your eruption when you meet them, and then the ebb and flow, or hunt and chase, or whatever it is. It's when you're like the seeker and whatever Harry Potter reference. And the reason being is you guys are trying to work out this lesson to better reconnect to yourself as a soul. This is different from a soulmate who is a matching soul but isn't a part of your soul. So twin flame. That looks like a butt, whatever. When two are one. And soulmate is just when two are two. That just, kind of match up. Yeah. Now, like I said, everyone romanticizes twin flames. They romanticize the good parts and how, oh, you'll feel complete to yourself, but that's just to sell you crap. No. It can be really devastating. It's a flame for a reason, because it will burn away your ego. It will burn away the false sense of yourself and the false pretenses of who you are to not only yourself, but to the rest of the world. You will become a fuller version of yourself, and it could result in a tragedy. Like, in all honesty, like straight up, it could result in you guys being lifelong friends, or like you guys could both agree that you are going to kill each other in one way, shape, or form, and have to avoid each other for the rest of your life. Maybe like go to the opposite ends of the world, but know the other one's still out there. And when you're separated, you will feel that emptiness for a long time. When the other dies, you will feel them die. You will feel them leave this earth. And it is heartbreaking, the moments you feel that life leave them. And you will also feel all of their greatest joys with them, all their greatest fears, all of their greatest sorrows, their greatest angers, their greatest just, chilled moments. And you will also really feel when the other's just annoyed with you, or like upset, or like just lost. You will feel so many things, and you won't even realize you're feeling it until you're feeling it. Now, you're probably wondering, like, how do I know when this happens? If you start seeing this or anything like that, and I'll get into that by itself, you'll know. And when you meet your twin flame, you will know. Like, you won't realize, even if you don't know the lingo yet, that will come in time. You will have that connection to them. You will just, that person right there, that person is special. I want to be around this person. That person might not like me, but let me tell you, that person is probably most likely is thinking the exact same thoughts about you. Whatever you're thinking about that person, they will be thinking about you. And I've asked this to a couple other twin pairs that I've met along the way, and they have had pretty similar experiences. So I have yet to be proven wrong on that. If you have any doubt that the person is your flame, they're not your flame. They're probably a soulmate, or they're probably someone that, you're trauma bonded to in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, welcome to the wonderful madness that is spiritual ascension through twin flame reconnection. And if you're a science goon that's here to, like, disprove me, I don't know, tell your fan base that, this crazy person wants you to, like, partake in psychosis. I'm not asking people to partake in this. I don't want anyone to go through this. They just are, and you gotta, like, let people cope. Looking at you, Professor Dan, or whatever, that guy gets on my nerve. He's just so angry. Anyway, peace.